In this video presentation, we will try to understand on his being arrived at the age of 23, which is a poem by John Milton. It is chapter 13th of your standard 12th curriculum. John Milton, this guy. John Milton was a very ambitious person, and he was actually over ambitious. He wanted to create works greater than Homer and Iliad, who were renowned poets before John Milton, and John Milton almost succeeded, and we can say that he actually succeeded when he wrote Paradise Lost, which is the single greatest epic of English literature. Paradise Lost is a story which is in the form of a poem in which John Milton describes the biblical event of a revolt against God, in which Lucifer turns into Satan and stands against God with his own army. In Paradise Lost, John Milton glamorized Satan in a way that people started accusing John Milton of blasphemy. They accused that John Milton was an atheist and that he stood against God. And because of this, John Milton's each and every work was analyzed, and later it was realized, it was propagated that John Milton actually wanted to prove that God's way with men are justified. He wanted to justify God's ways with men. It can be said that John Milton wanted to prove that whatever God does with us, it might look wrong or harsh at the present moment, but in the long run, it might be the best that can happen for us. In this poem, John Milton reflects upon his insecurities. What is he insecure about? He has turned 23 and he has realized that he hasn't written anything significant. He hasn't written anything great. And at the age of 23, any person starts pondering about his or her accomplishments, and insecurities are natural to crop up. So, John Milton is very insecure, and he says that since he hasn't written anything, he does not appear mature to people. This poem basically has two possible interpretations. One of the interpretations says that John Milton has actually written this poem about his face, and he is complaining that he does not look as mature as other people. He does not look as mature as a 23-year-old man, and he looks like a boy because his beard hadn't grown. And it is also known that John Milton was bullied in his university by being called Lady Milton because of his fair skin and his feminine features. But instead of leaning towards this interpretation, we will try to dive deep into the second interpretation, which is about his work insecurity, his insecurity that he hasn't written anything great till now. So let's start reading the poem first. We'll read the first two lines and then I'll explain it to you. How soon hath time, the subtle thief of youth, stolen on his wing my 23rd year. So here John Milton directly is the speaker of the poem. He has written this poem in an autobiographical tone. He is speaking about himself. He is using the words like my, I in the poem. So it's an autobiographical tone. And John Milton writes that how soon hath time. Now what are the meaning of these words? Let's go through the next slide. The meaning of hath is has. Hath is an old word, an archaic word for has. The meaning of subtle is quiet, something which happens very secretly. Stolen means that as time passes, your youthfulness is stolen away from you. Everybody knows stolen is the third participle for steal, for thieving. Then, what is the meaning of 3 and 20th year? It means 23 years. So, what is the meaning of these two lines? The meaning is John Milton is accusing time of being a thief. John Milton is saying that time is a thief, and it is a quiet thief, because as time passes, you do not realize that it is going away. It is very quiet. It is taking away his youthfulness. As time passes, our age is being stolen away from us. It's a natural thing. So John Milton is accusing time of being a thief, which has taken away 23 years from his life. So Milton accuses time of stealing away 23 years of his life and youthfulness. He calls it a subtle thief because one cannot feel the passage of time until a lot of it has passed. बिल्कुल सही बात है. मिल्टन समय को चोर कहते हैं और एक चुपचाप काम करने वाला चोर कहते हैं, क्योंकि समय बीतता जाता है, हमें पता नहीं चलता है. जब तक बहुत ज़्यादा समय नहीं निकल जाता, हमको इस बात का एहसास ही नहीं होता कि समय धीरे धीरे हमारे पास से चला गया. तो एक बड़ा ही चुपचाप काम करने वाला, दबे पाँव काम करने वाला चोर है, जो आपसे धीरे धीरे आपकी यूथफुलनेस यानी आपके जवानी के दिन छीनते जा रहा है. सो मिल्टन हैज कम टू द एज ऑफ 23 एंड ही इज वेरी इनसिक्योर. इसलिए अपना गुस्सा वो टाइम पे निकालते हुए कहते हैं कि वो तो एक चोर है जिसने मुझसे मेरे 23 साल छीन लिए. Then in the next two lines, my hasting days fly on with full career, but my late spring no bud or blossom shoot. What is the meaning of hasting? Quickly moving. What is the meaning of career? Career in this line means speed. What is the meaning of late spring? Milton compares his youthfulness to spring season. Everybody's life has several ages, and every age can be compared to a season. Why youthfulness is compared to spring season? Because in spring season life, your surroundings become beautiful, new flowers grow, new buds blossom. So in your life also, youthfulness is that age where you accomplish many things, where you make your life beautiful, where you create things. That's why he is calling his youthfulness as spring season. And he is saying that since he has become 23 years of age, he feels very old. He is thinking that his youthfulness has been taken away from him. That's why he calls it late spring. And then he says blood or blossom did not shoot. What is the meaning of shoot? Shoot is an archaic word for shown. He is writing that he hasn't written anything beautiful. He hasn't composed any great poetry. He hasn't written any beautiful prose. That's why he is saying that no bud or flower have grown in this spring season. Since he is comparing youthfulness to spring, in that metaphorical sense, writing becomes flowers. So in these lines, Milton is distressed that he is losing his youthfulness. Since youthfulness is the most productive age in one's life, he compares it to spring season and says that since he hasn't written anything great, it can be said that no flowers have grown in this season which has almost passed. हिंदी में समझाऊं तो मिल्टन जो है वो अपनी जवानी के दिनों को स्प्रिंग सीजन, वसंत ऋतु से कंपेयर करते हैं और कहते हैं कि वसंत ऋतु में जिस प्रकार फूल खिलते हैं, उनके जीवन में उनको इस अपनी जवानी के दिनों में सबसे ज़्यादा प्रोडक्टिव काम करने चाहिए थे, सबसे ज़्यादा सुंदर कृतियाँ लिख डालनी चाहिए थी, लेकिन वो नहीं लिख पाए हैं। तो उन कृतियों को वो फूलों से कंपेयर करते हुए कहते हैं कि कोई भी फूल खिला ही नहीं जवानी में, और जवानी जो है वो जा रही है, तो इसलिए वो स्प्रिंग को लेट स्प्रिंग कहते हैं। यानी स्प्रिंग जा रहा है, बीत रहा है, जवानी बीतती जा रही है, और उन्होंने कुछ भी खूबसूरत नहीं लिखा। In the next two lines, perhaps my semblance might deceive the truth that I to manhood am arrived so near. Then Milton tells that he is doubtful that his appearance, not his facial appearance, the appearance of his work deceives the truth. It gives a false impression. It does not tell the truth that Milton thinks so deeply. What is the truth? The truth is that Milton is very ambitious. The truth is that Milton thinks very deeply. And whatever he writes is does not succeed in displaying his real thoughts, does not succeed in displaying the depth of his thoughts. He feels very deeply, but when he writes it, he feels that a child has written it. He's not talking about his handwriting, he's talking about the style of his writing. So he believes that his thoughts have become as mature as of a great writer, but his work isn't reflecting it. So what is the meaning of these two lines? Let me summarize. He thinks that his work isn't truly reflecting the maturity of his thoughts. He is distressed because he actually has a lot of ambitions. He feels as if time is being taken away from him. Milton जो है वो सोच रहे हैं कि उनका जो लिखित कार्य है, उन्होंने जो लिखा है, उनकी जो कृतियां हैं, वो उनके भावनाओं की, उनके विचारों की परिपक्वता, मैच्योरिटी, गहराई को जता ही नहीं पा रहे, रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। वो लिखते हैं, लेकिन लिखने के बाद लगता है कि वो किसी बच्चे ने लिखा हो। उनकी जो भावनाओं की मैच्योरिटी है, जो मैनहुड है उनके अंदर का, वो उसके अंदर नजर नहीं आ रहा है। In the next two lines he writes, and inward ripeness doth much less appear, that some more timely happy spirits induce. Now what is the meaning of inward ripeness? Inward ripeness comes from the words like the fruit is ripen. When fruit ripens, it means the fruit has become ready to be consumed. In the same way, when our thoughts become mature, they are ready to be consumed. So Milton is saying that his thoughts have become mature. He is inwardly he is mature, but what is happening? His work is not reflecting that maturity. What is the meaning of doth? Doth is an archaic word for does. So in these two lines, Milton is saying that his work isn't reflecting the maturity of his thoughts. And then he is envious, he is jealous of some people whose work reflects the maturity of their thoughts. He thinks that if there are other people who think deeply as well as they can write the same amount of depth, with the same amount of depth, those people are very lucky. Those are happy spirits. And he thinks that he is an unhappy spirit because he cannot convey his thoughts as well as he thinks of them. Okay, so in these two lines, Milton is envious of people who write well and who convey their thoughts successfully. He calls them happy spirits. इन दो लाइनों में मिल्टन जो है वो अपनी इस बात को जता रहे हैं कि उनको जलन होती है उन लोगों से जो जितना गहरा सोचते हैं उतना ही गहरा लिख भी पाते हैं. मिल्टन को लगता है कि वो सोच तो लेते हैं गहरा, लेकिन वो जब लिखते हैं तो बड़ा बचकाना सा होता है, इसलिए वो उन लोगों से जलते हैं जो जितना गहरा सोचते हैं उतना ही गहरा लिख भी पाते हैं. Then he starts convincing himself in the next two lines, yet be it less or more or soon or slow, it shall be still in strictest measure even. What is the meaning of yet be it less or more? He starts consoling himself that whatever he might achieve in his writing could be great or could be trivial, could be nothing. He has no control over it. It can be soon or slow. It can come very quickly. His success in writing can come very quickly, or his success might arrive very late. It shall be in the strictest measure even. Everything will be given in the exact amount as decided. He has nothing in his control. Everything has been decided already, and it will be given to him according to what has been decided. He will not get anything extra. So Milton convinces himself not to be worried as nothing is in his hands. Everything has been already decided. Whether or not he will succeed or how soon or late he will succeed will be according to what has been decided. तो मैं वही बात दोहराता हूँ, मिल्टन जो है वो खुद को मनाने की कोशिश करते हैं कि चिंतित होने से कुछ नहीं होगा, सब चीज़ पहले से डिसाइड कर दी गई है, हर चीज़ का निर्णय ले लिया गया है और जो निर्णय लिया गया है उसी मात्रा में उनको सक्सेस मिलेगी. बहुत ज़्यादा सक्सेस मिल सकती है, बहुत कम सक्सेस मिल सकती है, बहुत जल्दी सक्सेस मिल सकती है, बहुत देर से सक्सेस मिल सकती है, लेकिन होगा वही जो डिसाइड किया गया है स्ट्रिक्टेस्ट मेजर में, ना ज़्यादा ना कम. अब किसने डिसाइड किया है? दैट वी विल नो. टू दैट सेम लॉट हाउएवर मीन और हाई, toward which time leads me and the will of heaven. What is the meaning of these lines? To that same lot, however mean or high, means whatever has been decided will be given to him. It might be very little or very much. वही बात जो हमने पहले समझी, that whatever has been decided, जो भी निर्णय ले लिया गया है वही मिलेगा. वो मीन हो सकता है यानी कम हो सकता है, हाई हो सकता है यानी बड़ी ऊंची सक्सेस मिल सकती है, लेकिन जो मिलेगा वो बिल्कुल जैसा डिसाइडेड है वैसा ही मिलेगा. Now who has decided? The will of heaven. Now what is the meaning of will? Will to means desire. What is the meaning of heaven? Heaven in this line means God. He says that God has a desire for him. God has decided everything for him, and whatever he will get will be according to whatever God has decided. He has no say in it. So Milton says to himself that God has decided everything for him and he will receive exactly what has been decided. Milton कहते हैं कि जो भी उन्हें मिलना है वो भगवान ने पहले से तय कर रखा है और उनको जो मिलेगा वो भगवान के तय किए अनुसार मिलेगा. उसके अंदर ना कुछ ज़्यादा ना कुछ कम होगा और इसमें मिल्टन कुछ नहीं कर सकते. वो तो इसलिए चिंतित होने का कोई बात ही नहीं रह जाती है. In the last two lines he says, all is if I have the grace to use it so as ever in my taskmaster's eye. Now what is the meaning of grace? Grace का मतलब यहाँ पे है काबिलियत. He thinks that he should be grateful towards God. He should have the ability to discharge whatever duty God has endowed on him. If God has decided that he will be a failure, he must be a happy failure. There must be some purpose behind him failing. If God has decided that he will be a success, it must have some purpose behind it that God has decided. He wants to serve that purpose. He does not want to do anything that God has not decided. And what is the meaning of taskmaster? God. तो मिल्टन बेसिकली ये कह रहे हैं कि वो पोएम को कंक्लूड करते हुए कहते हैं कि जो भी भगवान ने सोचा है वो तो होगा. उन्हें तो बस इस बात की खुशी है कि जो भी भगवान उनके लिए सोचेंगे वो अच्छा ही होगा, और उनके अंदर बस इतनी काबिलियत होनी चाहिए कि भगवान ने उनके लिए जो सोचा है, अगर फेल होके भी मिल्टन को दुनिया में कोई काम करना है जो भगवान ने सोचा है तो वो होगा, और अगर सक्सेसफुल होकर मिल्टन ने कुछ काम करना है ईश्वर का तो वो होगा. ईश्वर ने जो भी टास्क दिया है उन्हें बस उसको पूरा करने की काबिलियत चाहिए. नाउ दिस डिस्प्लेस मिल्टन्स डिजायर ऑफ जस्टिफाइंग गॉड्स वेज विथ मेन. इससे साबित होता है कि मिल्टन जो है वो इस बात को हमेशा साबित करना चाहते हैं, उनकी गहरी इच्छा है ये बात को साबित करने की अपने हर वर्क में कि भगवान ने जो डिसाइड किया है वही सही है. इसके अंदर ना तो आप कुछ कर सकते हो ना आपको कुछ करना चाहिए. ईश्वर ने जो निर्णय लिया है वो अभी गलत लग रहा होगा लेकिन बाद में वो बड़ा सही होगा. आई होप दिस वॉज हेल्पफुल टू यू. थैंक यू.